Welcome back, everybody. So today my goal is to get the loader off so that I can pop the hood and get to the filters in order to change the fuel filters and the transmission hydraulic filters. The case dealer told me it's a lot easier to get to if we can get the loader off. So what I've done already on this side is I've removed this pin here. I dropped this arm down to get prepared to lower the loader and get this thing off. I'm going to take you around to the other side and show you what I did over here on that other side. It hasn't been done over here yet, so let's check it out. Okay, so we've got a pin right here. Let's see, yeah, you're with me. And so we'll take this pin, offset it here. I'm gonna see if I've got a spot here I can tap it. There it is. So I tapped that thing on the inside and it's popped down to the ground here. So let's go down here. Let me lower the camera. I'm going to show you how this one works. This is, as you guys probably know, is the Case I-875C. And so this is the removal and hopefully reinstallation of the loader in the bucket. If you look in here, you can see if it's visible to you. There is a pin on this arm that you can pull out, and then we can tap this over and you can see it pops out right there, and this pin comes in and goes through the hole, or this rod does, and then we can stick this pin back in here to keep it secure. So now both of these are in place and should hold the loader up with no problem. I'll take this pin and I'll stick it back into place up at the top where I took it off to begin with. All right. Okay, so now you can see we have both of these arms down. I've still got the loader bucket up off the ground. I honestly, this is my first time doing this. I've watched a couple of videos myself. Couldn't find any with this particular tractor, so what I just showed you, I had not seen that before, so I winged it and we got that figured out. But I'm gonna take you around and we'll get the tractor started here in a moment, and we'll mess with the position of the loader and see what we need to do in order to unhook the pins. All right, so just being super cautious as this is the first time, let me bring you up here and let you see these pins, and we'll talk about getting those out. So what we want to do is pop off this, what I call cotter pin here. Easier said than done. Noticing is I'm still not completely on the ground, so I'm going to go in here with the tractor off and just push my joystick forward and get that thing on the ground. All right, let's see if we can pop this thing off here. There we go. So one pin out. Let's go ahead and put these in the toolbox. And let's see if this pulls out. This should just pop right out. Let me look in here. Well, there's obviously tension on it. So I'm wondering if I have to get it at a certain lack of tension or just right in order to pull this thing out. Let's just go in there and see if we can do anything else to lower the loader. So again, I've not seen this done, and I have never done it, so we're learning as we go here. I did glance in the manual under the area where the loader was, and I didn't see anything in there about removing it. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go around the other side, pop the pin out, and see if that one's any easier. We'll see if we can do anything better over here. Came out easier without the screwdriver. Stick that in my pocket for now. Let's see what we got here. I feel a little bit of give, but very little. So I'm gonna crank the tractor up, and I'm gonna maneuver things a little bit, see what we come up with here. Okay, so over on the other side, I pulled and it came right out. Let's see if that happens on this side. It did. All right. So we got this one out. I'm already getting a little nervous, guys. Let's just set this down here. And then, like I said, this one pulled right out a moment ago. So there we go. Now. All right, now for the moment of truth. We're going to try to maneuver the bucket, either probably roll it back or forward, and see how that moves these arms up or down. So bear with me as we play with this and see what happens. So it looks like we cleared the tractor. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Right in there, you can see this big bar that goes through there, this big pin that's connected. It is slightly above that area. Let's see if it is on the other side, which means that once I disconnect the hydraulics, I should be able to pull right back. Yeah, we're clear over here as well. All right. Honestly, my big concern is getting this thing back on. So if I don't get it back on tonight, I guess it'll sit right here. But let's hope I do. All right. So let's shut the tractor down. I'll grab my gloves. All right, well, let's go over here to the hydraulics. And I don't have the quick connect. You can purchase a connection that allows you to literally just in one swoop pop them all off, and I think you can even shut the hydraulic valve off to all of this. And I'm guessing that this is going to have some pressure on it the way it is, and I'm guessing it's not going to come out really easy. So, and I've never disconnected these, so I don't even know if I'm going to be doing it right, but it looks to me that this pushes down and this pulls out, so it's very tight. I felt a little movement, so what I think I'm going to do is considering maneuvering the joystick a little bit. This side's locked. Let me go unlock it. All right. So I'm going to open this door. And I'm going to play with the joystick a second, see what happens here. If we shake it each direction, which I don't know if you can see me doing that, it was this joystick right here, that should relieve pressure on these hydraulic valves, and hopefully they'll pop off. So let's give it a go. Maybe I need to just... I wonder if this one will... Nothing yet. There's that one. Okay, so before I stick that cap on there, let's clear it out. It's got something in there. Don't want to cover that and put in there whatever this is. But these are designed to protect these things. And this one will go here. And so what I did was I just forced down on the collar and it released. I wasn't really pulling on this, I was just forcing down. Now let's try it. All right. I twisted it as I did it. Let's move this out of the way. There we go. So the key is to twist it, I think, as you're going. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. There we go. Got it. All right. And another one. There we go. Not even a drip of hydraulic fluids coming out of this, which to me is a little odd, but we'll take it. That's clear. I don't think we're going to get in there anyway. Okay, so we're completely disconnected. That is so awesome. I believe now all I need to do is move this tractor back and clear it, and we'll be able to start looking into changing some of these filters and doing some service. By the way, this is my continuation of my first 50-hour service on this 75C Case IH. It's got actually about 62 hours on it, I believe, but better a little late than never, right? Okay, let's go. So I'm going to take a peek over here, make sure it looks like it's actually stable. It's setting by itself. I'm just going to look around, make sure I'm not forgetting anything. All right, I'm going to back up really slow, believe me. Okay, here we go. Holy moly, we did it. Awesome. Yes, we backed it up. We are off. This is the first time I have seen my awesome tractor without the loader on it. Looks pretty naked, but actually looks pretty cool. So this guy is sitting here. I'm gonna shake it, make sure it's not gonna fall. Yeah, she's stable. How cool is this? How cool is that, huh? I'm excited. See, I'm not a tractor guy, or at least I guess I am a tractor guy now, but I never was a tractor guy before. And so I'm learning as I go. And you see how dirty this is? I'm so embarrassed that it is, but guess what? We have no water yet at this beautiful land. And we're just making do with what we've got and making the best of everything. But I definitely need, I wish so bad I had water up here just to wash my tractor. All right, well, let's pop this hood. Let's get to looking at this puppy. All right, so there's a pin in here that they provide to you that you pop into this slot, push in and lift. And this hood tends to get caught on this screen over here, and I don't recall it doing that in the beginning. I'm gonna stick this back where it goes. I want to bring you in, let you look around here. So, one thing for sure, last time I bush hogged with the 15-foot Rhino 3150 Batwing, I did not have the opportunity to raise the hood and pop these screens out. Now this screen is not even in there properly. It has popped out, and that's not good because that probably allowed a lot of junk in here. I wonder if that did that as I was bush hogging. It really looks like it did. In fact, this one's even popped out. And I know I put those in there correctly. I know for a fact I did. There's no way I didn't. I don't have an air compressor up here, but what I do have is an air blower. So I'm gonna blow these things off with like a leaf blower. And I'm gonna prop these screens over here. I'm gonna grab my leaf blower real fast. And if you guys ever want an amazing leaf blower, I've had this one for a few years. I read all the reviews. This thing has been a beast. It's a little Hitachi. I don't know if I've got the model number on it or not, but this thing has been great. RB24 EAP blower, purifier. It's just been amazing, and it's so good, and it's light, and it does such a good job. And I've had blowers in the past that just didn't last. This one's been amazing. Got a little choke. Filter right now. You can see all kinds of stuff coming back out of there. It's not due for a removal and cleaning yet, but I have already done that. All right. So let's just pop these screens back in there. I think I called them filters before, screens, filters, whatever. I'll call things just about anything that comes to mind, so you might not want to pay much attention to what I call things. Hopefully occasionally I'll get it right. All right. So as you can see, this was earlier, this was outside of here like that, and I have no idea how that was out in there like that. but it was. Now, as you go through here, you have to kind of feed this thing into its tracks. There we go. And that's as far as it pushes in, but like I said, this hood, when it's going up and down, it's kind of catching on this over here. And again, it wasn't doing that previously. And it does it when it's in its track properly too, just so you know. In fact, that's the first time I've ever noticed it to be out of its track like that. All right, let's get in there, come on. There we go. Now that did go in further than it's been going in, so I did something right. And this one is not in far enough. So let me go over here, see if I can figure out what's going on. There's another little track over on this side. Aha! It's got to be lined up just right, man. And so that was the problem. It just wasn't lined up in that last track. And so that's why it was tight with the hood going up and down. Okay, so what we've got now is we've got to figure out which side these filters are on. I'm assuming I want to take this panel off to get to it, and I believe it's on the other side. So let's walk around and take a peek. Let's get up here and look underneath. Dang, if I can find the best position. Okay, yeah, they're this side. They are on this side. So let's see what we got to do to take this off. I see this one plastic head bolt here with a nut on the back. What do we got down low here? Huh. I honestly wish I'd have started this earlier today, because I might be into a little bit of time getting all this done. Let's see. I'm going to start by trying to get this nut off the back of this and see in what other locations this thing is connected. I'm going to step up here and look. I'm looking to see if back in the back there are other connections. I see two bolts back in here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I don't know if you can see or not, but right back in here there's a bolt up high, and then there's one down lower, and looks like those got to be taken off too. All right, so I tried to fit a socket onto the back of this and realized, well, that's very tight. So I grabbed out these channel locks and I gave it a little turn, and just with a little bit of pressure, it actually just starts coming right out. So I think the reason it's made with this plastic, it's designed to be pretty loose so that you can just hand remove it and hand tighten it. So I'm trying to hold there in the back. I don't feel that nut moving whatsoever, so I think that nut is mounted, welded onto the back of that little piece that holds this together. And it looks like I'm out here, and this just stays in place. Now, question is, I don't feel any movement down low, and so what do I got going on down here? You would think it would be another piece that was that easily designed. So this whole upper section is moving. What's the deal down low? Let's see. I feel a bracket. I don't understand what kind of head this is. It's real flat. It's real hard to get a hold of. Let me gonna grab my flashlight and get under there and look. It's about 5:30 p.m. in early September, and so the sun's getting a little low back there behind us. Okay. Aha! Check this out, guys. It's amazing when you can see what you figure out. So all you have to do is lift this. At least that's what, yeah, lift it, pull it out. And these, you can see these pins come right out of those holes there. So when I go to put this back in, oh, check this out, my little rodent repellent fell to the side. I think I'm gonna need to replace that. So when I go to put it back in, I'll put these in first. I'll keep it high, I'll drop it down on there, and then I'll bolt that down. So let's just take this out. All right. So what we have here are, I believe, and I'm going to look at the manual, I believe these may be our fuel filters. Could be this back here may be the hydraulic filter. I'm not really sure, but I'm about to find out, and I'll come back and let you know. I want to tell you something that just happened while I was up here working, or beginning to work. I was getting my filters out that I purchased at the Case dealership, and looking at the manual here when I look up and there's a John Deere tractor pulling a hay baler that just crossed my creek and was going up my field, booking it toward my driveway so that they could get to the driveway and get on out to the road. So they were crossing about 20 acres to do this. Literally, my wife and I just this morning put a sign up at the creek side in a perfect visible location for anybody who would even consider crossing that creek. And that sign said, private property, keep out. You are not authorized to roam this land. Something like that. Let me show you that sign. I've got an extra one. So let me ask you a question. Does this give someone permission to cross my creek? Does it say, go ahead, cross the creek. If you need access, just use it. Does it say that? Man. So let's get back to seeing if we can get this tractor fixed, okay? Serviced, I mean. All right, so here's our fuel filters. There's two of them. And back here, this I think is our hydraulic filter. I'm gonna confirm that. If you'll notice, just right over here, pop you out of this, I have my two brand new fuel filters that I purchased. This one has a pre-filter connection that is right in there at the bottom of that one right there. And this is the larger one, just at the beginning of it here. So I have searched this manual, and we have fuel filter replace, and none of this makes a lot of sense to me. It seems like it's only talking about that pre-filter. It doesn't seem like it's actually going into the actual filters at all. So I'm just gonna do what common sense would tell me to do, and that's got me in trouble before. Let's hope it doesn't get me in trouble this time. So here we go. I'm gonna grab this light, find me a spot to position it, see if I can actually get in there and get anything done here. This is such a totally awkward position that you got to get in down here. There's just no good way to grip anything. Oh, there we go. Okay, I just heard fuel running when I loosen that. Hope nothing goes spewing out on me. Still trying to unscrew it. Seeing if it pops off. I've got it unscrewed to a certain area. And it looks like there's a fitting on it, or a wire going into it, of course. Wonder if the wire... I want to refer to my manual once again here. Well, I glanced at the manual again, and it just doesn't tell me much of anything. But what I can see here is it looks like there's a fitting that needs to just be pulled off down here before I start spinning and trying to remove that. I don't know if this just pulls right off or not. It sure looks like it does. Gosh, there's just no room to work in here. I don't want to mess the wire up, but how does that come off? I don't want to screw something up, man. That's the last thing I need to do when I'm trying to service this thing. Looks like there's a metal latch that might pop off here, which may do that and lose it. Huh. I'll tell you what, this makes me really want to get some information before I go messing anything up. You would think that that would just pop right off, but you also would think it wouldn't, because nobody wants it to pop right off, right? Okay, well, the manual sucks, guys. I'm telling you, there's just nothing in there where I have looked anyway. I've not looked at the whole freaking manual, but there's nothing in there that tells you what to do here. I don't need to break it. So I'm gonna have to ask my case dealer tomorrow, I guess. I'm gonna tighten this thing back up by hand. I probably let air in the fuel line by loosening it. I certainly heard some drainage. And so we're gonna see. We're gonna see if she'll start up. And if everything's fine, I'll leave the panel off. I'll leave my loader sitting right there. As much as I hate to do that, I don't think anybody's gonna come get it. They'll need, I guess, my tractor or one very similar to it to hook up to it, or they can yank it up and put it on a trailer, I suppose. But I got some good cameras, and if somebody tries that, I will get a motion detection right here on my Reolink, which is ran off of solar power. I've also got them throughout the property. I've got one on the other side of the barn too. So if anybody gets anywhere around this place, I'm gonna know. In the sheriff's department, they responded as quick as 2 minutes or longer. Not that much longer, but they're quick getting here typically. But anyway, let's see if we can start this and see what happens, okay? All right, let's give it a go. Okay, I don't see any leakage. It started right up, so I've not created a problem. That's good. So I'm gonna let this thing run for a few minutes. Get that camera going on here, and let's fix you here. So I'm gonna get the thing, let it run a minute. I'm gonna take it in. I'm gonna store it for the night. And I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I'm gonna call my case dealer, ask them a little bit about it, and pick up where we left off. So stand by, in a blink of an eye it will be tomorrow. All right, tomorrow has come, so here we are today. We're going to continue where we left off. So here's what happened. Let me make sure that I'm in visual here. Let's see. Let's bring this way a little bit. Let's pop this up. So, as you know, I mentioned to you yesterday that that piece, the item, the electrical connection on the bottom of one of the fuel filters, I didn't know how to take it off without being concerned that I might break it. So I went down this morning to my local dealer, walked into the service department, showed them a picture of it, and they told me what to do. And so I'm going to be showing you exactly what we need to do here. Guys, I just opened the hood and there's a freaking mouse in my tractor. They will wreak havoc on the wiring. You see the guy right in there? You see him? He went around the other side. I've got to get that dang rodent out of there because they will eat the wiring. Look here. Now I want to show you something. Look what's sitting here beside of it within just a few inches of that rat. So I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it's not working. Okay, that really bothers me and it's concerning to me because I have heard that these mice will just destroy your wiring. And weird thing is, you know, this thing is being kept inside this barn. There's no hay, there's no feed, there's no corn, there's nothing that you would think would attract mice except maybe the shelter of this thing here. So I don't know what to do to get rid of them. I've not noticed any wiring issues, but now I look in there and I see something deep in there that looks like it's where they've been bringing materials to nest, and I've got a problem. So we got to get it fixed. I'll be figuring this out today. Any comments, any information that you guys want to put in here, I think everybody would appreciate it. So yeah, keep it coming. Let's get some information so we can get rid of these mice. I think the best thing would be an awesome tomcat, but I don't have one of those up here because we're not here every day to take care of the cat. But cats can pretty much take care of themselves. Anyway, I'm going to deal with this and then I'm going to get back to work. I saw all kinds of paper coming out of there. You probably saw it too, where they have grabbed pieces of paper towel or toilet tissue that we've got sitting in there, and they've taken it and shredded it and made a little nest. And I see right where they like to go. I showed you a second ago. I hope they've not screwed anything up. I'm gonna get my light real quick and look in there. I also want to show you this. I have been spraying this in there. I didn't like spray it deep inside that area this whole time, but I have been spraying it without popping the hood on up inside. I've like been going underneath the hood, you know, and as best I can. But I'm gonna have to start spraying it directly in those areas. I don't know that I want to get electrical wiring wet. Well, I know I don't want to get electrical wiring wet, but I also don't want to get it eaten up. Freaking ticks me off. You know, this smells about the same as the rodent repellent that I showed you a moment ago, and I don't know if it's actually doing anything. I mean, it may be helping a lot, I don't know, but it's obviously not foolproof. So, exciting. Anyway, let's get this camera in a position so that we can start looking at what we're going to be doing in here. The mouse, it's, as far as I know, it's in there. I mean, he may have come out. There's no way for me to know. But what I do know is I'm gonna have to do this probably every time I come out here. And I tell you, with the loader on, it's harder, it's almost impossible to see up in that area, because as you know, that loader, it's sitting right here and it's taking up this whole section. And so it's difficult, but I will now, at least I know kind of where to focus. Again, let me go get my flashlight if I have it on me. Okay, so even after blowing that out, you can see the remnants of paper that they've taken in there and shredded and nested right down in that area. And I don't see anything that's been gnawed on or chewed up, but I can't see everything. And so again, very, very concerning. I really wish I didn't have this problem. I'm telling you, man, get you a tractor and get you another job, right? It's definitely a lot to focus on, a lot to take care of. Oh well, so anyway, I'm gonna get under here and I'm gonna try to do what the dealer at the case dealer told me to do. He said, as we both know, as we all know, there's a wire under here. He said to push in on it and then pull it out. So let's see if we can figure out what he's talking about. I know that you probably don't have a good view, because heck, I don't even have a good view. I'm sure that a lot of the stuff can be disconnected to get in there to it. I'd prefer not to do that. Well, one thing is for sure, this is definitely in my way. So let's get this off and see if we can make a little more space for working in here. I don't feel any way to get into the back of this, so I'm hoping there's no nut on the other side that falls down inside that hole, that tube here. Surely not. No, good. It looks like it's just a threaded area. That's good. All right, let's pop this one off. There we go. It's a good thing that that tire was there to support that. Come on. There we go. Set this over to the side now. Thread these back in here so I don't lose them. Okay. Well, I found my other light, so I'll be able to get a little bit better look in there. I messed with it a little bit off camera, and I have had no luck yet. But we're going to look on down in here. So here's what we're talking about. You can get a better look now. I'm just simply trying to get this electrical lead off of here. I see a hole right here. You know, logic would tell me that if I pressed in there with something, that it may release and allow that to pop out. So let's set this up in here a little bit. And I'm just gonna get something to press on it, see what happens. Get that pin. We take that off. But I don't want to do something that's going to mess it up. It looks like that would pop off. Doesn't seem like it wants to pop off easy, so I don't want to. Aha! Aha! Okay, looks like this pushes in. And that pops down. Daggone it, how freaking simple is that? Did you guys see that? This pushes in right here, and that's how it pops down. Okay, now I'm gonna get this over here out of the way, and it's time to get the filter off. All right, so I was told to simply fill up the fuel filters, or at least add a good bit of fuel to each of these fuel filters. I don't know about filling them up all the way, but certainly adding some fuel to them would be a good idea. Clean off the edge of this. It looks like it has some flakes, maybe from the box. I'm not sure. I'm gonna be lubing the ring before after I put fuel in here. Let's set these this way, keep them in the box to do this so that they won't turn over. So this is some diesel fuel I purchased, and let's just add some in here. Okay, that looks like that's only about half full. Okay, that's almost full. Let's do the same thing here. Well, I parked right in the sun today, so it's getting nice and warm. Okay, that's plenty full. So I'm gonna get a paper towel. I'm gonna dry off the O-ring a little bit. Get that ready for some oil. Soak up some of this diesel. You know, diesel's nothing like gasoline that goes in your normal gas engine for a car. I mean, it burns, of course, but try just setting some brush on fire using some diesel. You'll see how it's a slow burn, not an immediate combustion. I mean, it immediately can catch on fire. Be careful. I'm not saying that you need to throw caution to the wind. Certainly be very careful. But gasoline, on the other hand, extremely volatile. It's an immediate whoo. That's what burns your eyebrows and eyelashes off very quickly. All right, I'm just going to take some of this gear oil, 80W90. Just going to put a little on my finger. Just going to rub it around on the top of this. Lube that nice and good. Do the same thing on this one. So I'm just putting it on the O-ring. You can see here. Just going around it like that right there. Okay. Now we're going to remove these filters and get going. Okay, let's see if we can get these loose. There we go. Now let's see how much diesel we lose, how much fuel comes out of this thing. I don't have my fuel turned off, so I don't know how much I'm going to lose. It doesn't seem too bad. There it is. Okay. I'm going to try to raise this up so I don't lose all that fuel everywhere. Okay, set this one to the side. All right, and I'm going to come back. We'll try to get this one off. I've got some vice grips here that might actually work on this one. They were too small for my other one. Let's see here. Come on. I think that's gonna do it. I'm sure it's squeezing it. Not getting the turn yet. There we go. There we go. Kind of destroying this thing as I go. I'm trying to get this off and use my hands from this point. Yeah, there we are. All right, now of course this one has that unit on the bottom where the electrical connection goes. And we're going to take this one off, and then we're going to remove that electrical connection off the bottom of this, and we're going to put it on the other one. This one doesn't seem to be quite as full. All right, they're both out. Okay, let's dump this fuel out. While I'm doing that, I'm going to unscrew the connection off the back of this filter. That's what we're looking at. I'll dispose of this fuel properly in a little bit, but this is the piece that came off. It's got a little probe here that does whatever it does, and I'm going to try to dry this section out, make sure that I don't have any fuel in there when I reconnect in a few moments. So, getting a paper towel now. Just I don't think I got any liquid in there at all. I think it's kind of important to always keep fuel, especially in electrical, separated, but water as well. All right, so now that we have added fuel to the filter and we have lubed the O-ring at the top, we're going to insert, I gotta remove this. Lesson learned. Put that in before you do that, or you'll waste all your fuel. So now I need to make sure that I dry off the bottom of this. All right, so learn from my mistakes. I've told you this many times. Before you add any fuel to this filter, remove the cap on the bottom of the new filter and reinstall the electrical connection. If you do not do that, then of course you take the cap off, you lose the fuel that you've already put in the filter. Not a good plan, and it's a little messy as well. And so now that that's been done and been done properly, I'm confirming I have no leaks here, making sure that the O-ring that was up inside of here on this fitting is doing its job. So I'm going to hold it up, take a peek, dry off the bottom real good with the towel. It looks like it could easily be over tightened as well, so be careful not to do that. And let's see if we can go ahead and get this inserted. careful not to get any debris or any contamination in this area. Alright, seems to be going on well. And you've probably changed oil many times and removed oil filters. Fuel filters, very similar. You don't want to over tighten it, but you definitely want to get it tight enough that it's not going to back off by itself. So a good double grip turn is probably going to take care of that. I'm going to dry it off and give it a little bit better grip if I can. I'd rather it be a little too tight than a little too loose. Let's see if we get it. Yeah, we got another 10% of a turn there. I think we're good. I think we're good. Now, let's talk about reconnecting the electrical connection that's down here and see what that's going to look like. Before we do it, I want to make sure I've got no fuel that might have poured out inside of there. And it doesn't look like I do. No, I look clear. Now we just got to determine exactly where that connects best. And I see what looks to be that this side is the connection that goes in. Difficult to navigate here. Let's see if I can possibly prop my light up. Set it over here. All right. I gotta pull this wire out to get it to go up over it. I think I have a screwdriver back there. That might help me. Maybe not. Where did that go? First of all, it doesn't even feel quite right. Let's flip this around and see if I've got a better connection going the other way. This thing's probably dummy proof. Yeah, it's dummy proof. I'm just the dummy. And I'm on the wrong side to see what's happening with my... But I was able to just now push in with my finger on that wire and connect it. So I was going in the wrong way. And now it's in completely. And I have no leaks. Look like I'm good to go. Let's do this next filter. This one's certainly much easier. There we go. Not bad. Now take it up and begin to give it a nice little righty-tighty movement here and see if we can catch these threads. All right, I think we've got it. Yep, I'm letting it go and it's holding on. So we have connection. So from what the, I've not looked in the manual, but from what the dealer told me, this filter back here is the oil filter. That's, according to my manual, that is due to be changed at 300 hours. I believe I would, of course, want to remove the fuel filters to get to that oil filter. Now I'm going to wipe that down like I did before. See if I can get a better grip and get it tightened. Come up on the other side. I've not seen my little friend the mouse back here since I've been working. Maybe when I blew it out with the air blower, the leaf blower, I gave it a little scare. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit better of a grip. Get this a little tighter. Give it another wipe. Come up on the other side. I think that's got it. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna see if this thing will start without bleeding the system. Now, why would I do that? Because I've never bled the system and I don't know how. And so I was told by the dealer that that's okay to do and it should work. So let's see, and let's also see if we have any fuel leaks at all once I start this, if it starts. Cross your fingers. Here we go. All right, didn't start on that run. Let's try it again here. So it's never had any trouble starting before, so obviously there is air in there or there's not fuel where it needs to be. I'm very low on fuel to begin with. Let's see, but I've got enough to start it. All right, well, I don't want to keep doing that. So what I'm going to do now is check out the manual, see if it mentions anything at all about bleeding the system. And I'm going to tap some of this, dry up some of this fuel that's laying down here on bottom and make sure that there's no more leaks coming out, because I see old fuel down here and I want to make sure I don't have any new fuel when I'm trying to start it. I don't see anything obvious, nothing dripping off the bottom of the filters or the electrical connection. So I don't think I have a leak. I think I just need to bleed the system. And we're gonna see if we can figure out how to do that. So right now I'm on hold with my case dealer, and they're very helpful. One gentleman is getting someone who has done this before to try to get on the line to maybe give me a little input on how to accomplish bleeding the lines. Again, I referred to the manual and didn't find anything at all that talked about it. I think that's more of a service manual instead of an owner's manual kind of thing. It would be nice if it was all available to us with the purchase of a very expensive tractor. Let's see if they answer. I'll let you know how it goes.
Let me look and see, okay?
Okay, you want to just holler back at me?
I'll give you a shout back if you want to look at it while I'm doing this.
Yeah, I'll just kind of be here. Just call me as soon as you can if you don't mind.
Okay.
All right, thank you. I apologize I'm bothering you, but I do appreciate it. All right, guys, so what he's saying is he believes that this, as he described it, and I could be wrong at what he's talking about, but this might be the pump in here, and that makes sense to me. The shape of it looks like it'd be a pump. There's a flat tip head down here. He said he thinks you can unscrew it and pump it a couple times and get something happening, and I would think that might be the case, but he told me to wait. He's going to call me back and we'll go from there. So let's see what he says. Okay, so I put the screwdriver up to here to see if that would turn. It didn't seem to want to turn, but I pushed in, and it's pumping in and out right here. If you can see that. Now, I don't know if that's doing anything. Maybe have to crack a nut to see what happens, but I'm going to give it a go and see if that changed anything. It didn't seem to affect it, so let's wait on him to tell me if I need to crack something loose and then pump. Maybe I'll just keep pumping for a few minutes. Oh, getting a call. Let's see if this is him. Yes, sir.
Hey, bud.
Yeah, man.
All right. What you're looking at is got the little screw in the center.
Yes.
That's the pump. You don't have to do anything other than push it in.
That's what I discovered that, and I was just doing that a few times, but
all right, there's a bleed screw. All right, right beside of it on the left-hand side, there's a line connected.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
All right, beside of that line, there's a little bleed screw.
I see it.
All right, that's your bleed screw where you loosen up.
So I loosen that up while I pump.
Yep. That'll let the air out.
All right.
Push the priming pump till the fuel comes out of the bleed screw and then tighten her back up.
Man, it couldn't get much easier than that, could it?
No, it is pretty simple. I know some of those other ones, I was right. I was just thinking of the different model.
Yeah, let's see if this will work. I'm starting to get a little bit of bubble out of there.
Yeah.
But I guess I got a lot of air in it. Because I didn't feel the fuel filters all the way up. Maybe I should have.
Well,
I didn't know.
Well, you pump her a few times and she gets pretty much cleared up. She should fire off.
Let's see what we got. I'll tighten up the screw and let you hear it. How's that sound to you?
Sure, that's no problem.
Let's see what we got.
Push her about half throttle or something like that.
Okay. I don't think she's there yet, do you?
Try it again.
All right. Let's try her again. I believe I'm gonna have to do some more pumping.
Okay.
I tell you,
it would be nice if you had someone there to pump while you were kicking it over.
Wouldn't it? That would be good.
It would help. I know we've had run into that. So sometimes some of them can be stubborn.
I just need to loosen the screw. I don't need to take it all the way out, do I?
No.
Yeah.
No, just loosen it enough to let the fuel and the air come out.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep pumping here.
Yeah.
And see what happens. Well, Ricky, if you don't mind, buddy, I'll if I can't get this working, I'll just give you another holler and we might figure out something else.
That's no problem, Sean. Yeah, that's fine.
I think we'll get it though.
Yeah, you'll get her.
I just got her full of air right now, apparently.
Yeah, you got to get the rest of that air. They can be aggravating.
No doubt. Well, thanks a lot, buddy.
Sure, no problem.
I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Like I said, these guys are just salt of the earth here. I want to see if I can try to find a way to do this a little easier. I guess this works. I don't even see fuel coming out anymore. I wonder if there's any chance it's got to do with I'm so low on fuel. I tell you what, I'm gonna pour the rest of my diesel fuel. I probably got a gallon in this jug. Let's go ahead and get it in here. It can't hurt to have more fuel in the system while I'm dumping it. Hey, if nothing else, you guys are learning something. If you got a case 75C, you're gonna do this a whole lot faster than I did. You're gonna avoid a bunch of mistakes. You're not gonna have to read the manual quite as much. And you're not gonna have to have a Ricky to go to, although you need a Ricky. He is a good guy. I walked up there a few weeks ago when I was buying the filters, and I asked if he could just kind of point some things out to me, and he was kind enough to do that and give me some good advice. So, all right, that gallon went in, As you can see, I was pumping some more, but I don't have like a lot of fuel pouring out of here or anything. So let's gotta keep pumping. He said it would be good if someone could pump while someone was trying to turn it over. We're not there yet, guys. I want to save you from all the pumping, and I'll turn you back on shortly. All right, so no idea if this is going to be helpful or not, but the folks over at the dealership told me to blow air with anything I have to blow it with into the fuel tank. I just added 5 more gallons of fuel, and if I blow air in, they said it might help push some of that fuel into the system and therefore bleeding it out. So I've got my bleed screw open a little bit so that I can hopefully push air out. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna grab some towels that I can shove around it if I need to. Let's go. I did see a bubble or two coming out of the set screw. Or out of the bleed bolt here, the bleed screw. I saw a few bubbles coming out. Don't know that that's doing any good. I'm gonna go grab my keys, see if the tractor will start. All right, so I gave it a quick whirl and tractor did not start, so we're gonna keep pumping. We're gonna do this pumping a while, and then we're gonna blow some more air into the tank. It's amazing how this is so difficult to get bled. I don't understand it. I tightened this a little bit more previously off camera, so these are both very tight. I don't see any issues. All right, guys, so notice different t-shirt, same sweat. It's a new day. So yesterday I pumped this pump 1,000 times, maybe more. I tried to bleed out fuel from the bleed screw like I showed you. I got nothing. As you know, I blew air down into the fuel tank to try to force the fuel through the system. I'm not sure if I told you or showed you or not, but I removed both of these filters, filled them with fuel again just to make sure they were topped off to the max, put them back on. I basically did this job twice and pumped until I couldn't pump anymore. I even took, I think you might have seen it, a rake. Maybe you didn't see that. I had a rake and I was just like pumping with that long handle. Nothing ever happened. So I called the dealer back, and gentleman told me, here's the secret. He said, bring somebody with you tomorrow. You be down here pumping and bleeding while someone else is up there trying to start the tractor. Well, we did that. Nothing. Got nothing. Did that until I was blue in the face. Brought a jumper box to keep that battery charging and make sure that I didn't kill the battery while I was doing all this. And nothing happened. So finally I called a different dealer. I've got relationships with a couple of different dealers, and I got with a technician who, he said, first he said, have you checked to see underneath this loader frame here, down inside there, there's a, it's really hard to get to, it's inside of this area, there's a little glass bottle that holds fuel and it's got a little filter in it. He said, have you made sure that there's fuel in there, that it didn't lose the fuel, or it's not been blocked up with straw or something getting into the gas tank? And I said, well, I'm sure there's nothing blocking it, because I'm very careful about when I put gas in, making sure it's clean all around it. And so I looked under there and it was good. It was good. Well, my next step was going to be to get some starter fluid, take out this air filter, spray in some ether, and see if I could get the engine started and hopefully suck the fuel through the system and get going. Well, before I even brought that up to the technician on the phone, he said, I don't like ether, so I don't want you to spray anything in there. But what I want you to try doing, he said, if I've got one locked up, it won't start. To get it pushed past that point, what I do to get it started is I take a towel. Let me show you what I did. So I take a towel and I soak it with regular unleaded gasoline. So I poured gasoline, kind of gasoline goes in your lawnmower, just regular gasoline. I soaked my towel with it. He said, take the filter out, cover the air intake with this towel and seal it and hold it right there while someone inside is trying to start the tractor. Fired right up. Fired right up. Pulled the fuel through. I let it run for about 5 minutes. All was good. Maybe a little bit longer than that, because I knew I had drained the battery pretty good. And so, let's see here. I believe it goes like this here. But anyway, I let it run and it worked. And I was very, very thrilled that it did. So I'm going to start it back up now after I get this air filter back on here. And we're gonna confirm that it's gonna start again. So let's give it a go. It's running. I'm gonna let her run. I'm gonna let her run for about 10 minutes this time. Just keep everything going through the system. And we'll be back with you. I hope that you avoided some of the sweat that I dealt with and some of the stress behind it while watching this video. Maybe you learned something. I learned it the hard way. That's just what I do. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, so now that we've gotten the majority of the first 50 hours service completed, we're gonna put the loader back on, see if we can make that happen. This is the first time putting this loader back on this tractor after the first removal. So let's see what we can get done here. what we're gonna do is check and see if this open area right here is lining up with this pin that goes through. And it looks like it is. We're gonna go check the other side as well. It looks to me like the pin is lining up, so I'm going to shut the tractor down so that we can connect these hydraulics. And once I get the hydraulics in, then I'll maneuver the bucket and the loader to see if we can drop that pin down into that sleeve, and then we can insert our pins, and we can raise it, lift the arms, and hopefully be in business. You guys, you saw me take them off. If it wasn't on this video, it was on another one. Not sure how we're gonna edit this and put it together. And I hope it goes on easier than it came off. So we're gonna go with blue first. Let's see what we got here. No clue what I'm doing. Tell you what I'm gonna do. Even though I didn't touch the hydraulic stick, it must have got some pressure on it. So I'm gonna go around. Again, my door's locked over here. Pop this door open and see if we can move the stick around a little bit, see if anything happens. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and just jiggle the stick side to side, back and forth, and see if that helps relieve any pressure at all. We'll see if that makes any difference whatsoever. Why is this hard? No luck. Let me turn you back on here in a moment. Well, I went as far as to just loosen this up and actually take off this hydraulic hose. I did it very slowly and very carefully to see if any hydraulic fluid come pouring out, and there just literally isn't. It's got no pressure at all. And I still, even now, cannot get this to go in. Here's the blue. So I got an issue. I'm not sure what the heck the issue is, but it's certainly not pressure. Not on this side. Maybe there's pressure on the other side that I'm not been focusing on. I've been focusing on pressure coming from the tractor, thinking that, and plus, I mean, I can't push these in. So what the heck? I don't get it. I want to get this all tightened back up. I've just lost a few drips of fluid there. So let's take some time, get this on right. See if we can get this thing going. That nipple doesn't want to go in at all either. Well, I could crack these nuts. Let's see which one this is. This is the yellow one. So let's crack it. Let's see what the heck happens. See if we got a bunch of liquid. What we're talking about is right up here. I've identified that this hose goes to my yellow, which is the inside coupler. I'm going to crack this and see what we get. See if we get a lot of fluid pouring out. I don't want it to shoot off. This one feels like it's actually got pressure compared. There it is. Wow, what do you know? Let's tighten that back up. I shot some pressure out, didn't I? That was awesome. Looked like happy days for that fella. All right, let's see what we got here. What do you know, guys? I don't know if you saw that, but that connected right in. Okay, so that's BS if you ask me, that you literally got to loosen these up in order to get that to connect. I don't know, there's got to be a way that you don't have to do that. A way that you can do it in the beginning without getting the pressure off this, so you don't have to loosen this up every time. Okay, I'm noticing something I don't like here. Let's just keep this up separated. Now I wonder if by doing that, by chance, if it somehow relieved pressure in the whole system, and if I can get any of the other ones to just go right in. Let's give it a see. Look, see. What do you know? So there's that one. Praise the Lord. Okay, how's this one go? So that must be on a completely different deal here. So let's trace it. That'd be this guy. So let's back you up so you can see everything. Let's loosen this one. Let's crack it loose. Oh, my favorite thing to do. Let's see. I want to stand back because I don't want to get shot again like I did a moment ago. He got me in the shoulder. Very difficult to get in here with this big wrench. Now earlier I didn't have to take it all the way off. You saw that it just got so loose and then it decided to relieve itself. Like I said, difficult spot here. I need a small wrench. Let's see if we can find one. Okay, I couldn't find a wrench that would fit it, so I've got a smaller crescent wrench that will fit in here a little bit better. I'm still not getting the release yet. Yeah, I gotta figure out something better than this, but this is for the birds. And there it is. It got all over the camera. That's some action right there. That is awesome. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and I don't know if the lens is all messed up or not, but all right, that's in. And then last but not least, little blue here. I'm in. Got to tighten this puppy back up. Make sure I top off my hydraulic fluid and go from there. Oh my gosh. Never dreamed it would be so fun owning a tractor, right? Let's turn you off since we just turned you on. side in. Let's see if the other side fits. Okay, so we got both pins in, one on each side. Now I'm gonna lift this up and I'm gonna put those arms back up where they're gonna. Put that pin right back in there. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, and this loader is back in action. We've got no leaks under here. We've got no leak down here. Pressure compared. There it is.